This is the Lee Loadmaster prime on bottom conversion. So what I've got here is we've got a new primer system. This is a tube feed primer system. I have a indexing conversion, and there's a new primer pin holder in the system. So what's happening here is on the upstroke in station 1. In station 1, we would be decapping and sizing. The primer is getting picked up from the tube at the top of the stroke. As we come down, now what's happening here is we're changing the timing of the indexing. So at this point, we're, I don't know, like 20 millimeters or 15 millimeters higher in the stroke than we normally would be. So as you can see here, the shell plate is indexed, so that case that had been sized is now into station 2. And now the timing releases, and the last part of the stroke right here is just priming. So we're priming on the bottom, so the only operation that's happening is priming. You can feel the primer being seated. This is basically exactly how the Dillons work. So we'll go through that again. So we come up. Station 1 would be decapping and sizing. We come down. The new indexing feature will advance the shell plate, so that case comes over. Now at this point, we'd be free to run the carrier up again. But if we continue down, we see the priming pin comes up, and we're priming in that bottom part of the stroke. Okay, so here we're looking down from the top. I took the die plate out so we can see what's going on. So on the upstroke, you can see the primer feed's pulling back. It picks up a primer at the top of the stroke. As we come back down, you can see it starts to feed the primer back in. The primer comes in over the primer pin. The shell plate indexes, so the case that would have been decapped and primed at the top of the stroke now indexes over to station 2, and then we prime. See, the prime pin comes up, we prime at the bottom of the stroke. So I'll put a case in and we'll show that operation again. So the case feeder would feed in the case. We come up. That station 1 would size and decap. We come over, and then right here we'd be priming on the downstroke. All right, here's a different angle of what's happening at the bottom. So we go to the top of the stroke, it picks up the primer. We come down. This new indexer feature indexes the shell plate, and now at this point, this is the new primer pin at the bottom of the stroke. You can see it primes. That's reacting off the frame and it's priming. One last thing to note here, one of the benefits of priming on bottom is you can actually move the powder drop to station 2. So what that does is it allows you to have an extra operation. So, you know, now with the Loadmaster having the 5, the 5 die turret, moving the powder drop to station 2, basically I've given myself an extra station here. So you'd have the ability to add a powder check and an inline bullet feeder or a factory crimp, which you couldn't do before. You could have all this stuff running at the same time. So the tube is positioned, and the tube holder is positioned to work with the auto disc and the auto drum. So it's all the Lee stuff. I know there's a bunch of different powder drops out there, but this will work with the Lee auto disc and auto drum. It's been spaced out to do that. The support arm that it comes with has a new reaction point for the pull chain. So that has all been accounted for. All right, so this entire kit comes with the tube for the tube feed, the mounting bracket for the tube, the new primer feeder, the new priming pin, and the new indexing assembly that attach. Now all these parts are simple bolt-on. There's no modifications to the press. You simply remove the old priming system, install the new priming system, and install the new timing arm onto the press. No modification, no permanent modifications. All bolt-on pieces. I've got a shop on Etsy. The link will be in the description. Thanks.